In this episode, I'm super excited to kind of break down the three things that you need to know. There are three tips or tricks, or not tricks, but like three ways that you can close more deals and ultimately make more money. And so, if you guys don't know, I'm Johnny Nitafan. I do Friday Fuel every single Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And yeah, I just got done with Orange Theory. And so just a quick thought for you guys before I hop into this video is I was going to Orange Theory, and like I've been on this weight loss journey. If you guys haven't kind of been following along, just down a few pounds, right? So down 9 pounds. And what happened was I lost 9, and about last week, since from last week to this week, gained about 2 pounds back. And so I was talking with my wife about this. And so guys, listen to your wives. And so that's just like a quick tip, because what happened was her and I were talking. We're on our walk yesterday. We're on like day 68 of 75 hard, something like that. I could actually pull up the actual date. Let's see here, 68. So day 68 of 75 hard. And so we're absolutely crushing it. And we're kind of talking through this. And I'm like, hey, I feel that like after 75 hard, my fear is that I'm gonna like gain, like I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna gain all the weight back. And she said, you need to go, like pretty much what she was saying was, you need to get back to the basics. You need, like, I've already told you what you need to do. And I hadn't gone to Orange Theory in like a little bit, right? I haven't gone. It was nice to start going to the gym and start like really getting a pump back and lifting weights like that. But I got away from Orange Theory. And when I made the most progress is when I was going to Orange Theory 3 to 5 times every single week and just consistently doing that over and over and over again and like crushing it, right? And so if you guys don't know what Orange Theory is, it's pretty much a HIIT workout that they take you through about an hour or so, hour to an hour and a half. And it's just a great way to like do cardio and then also lift weights. And they do a lot of circuits, things like that. And it's really good, right? It's a class environment. And so I got away from the basics. And I think the lesson for us in this, right, in business, is that a lot of times, and I've seen this in other aspects of my life, and is it okay if I'm completely vulnerable right now? Like, drop in the comments right now if it's okay if I share that, because like I see this in a lot of aspects of my life. I see this like in business, in my spiritual life, in my relationship, especially with my wife, but relationships in general. When things start going well, I feel like I want to change. I feel like I want to like, I like, okay, like cool, I got this down. Now I can move on to something else. When in reality, to get to where I really want to go is doing the basics over and over and over again and not losing the fundamentals. The masters never don't do the basics. And so I just wanted to be vulnerable with you guys and share with you guys kind of what my lessons that I'm learning right now is, because what happened was I like things were crushing and like selling, and then all of a sudden, boom, switch some stuff, change like different, hey, I'm going to try some live transfers and shut my Facebook ads off. And it's like all of a sudden production dipped because I tried something new. I was like, okay, I could buy back my time. In all reality, that was a mistake. I should have just consistently done what was working and not get away from it. And so when things are working for you, you want to just triple down on what's actually working. So I've been challenged. It's been a challenge for me to get back to the basics. And I've had to do it consistently and get back. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to start. I'm just going to go back to the basics. I'm going to go back to doing what was working and just keep doing that more and more and more. And so that's just a quick lesson. Let's get right into the 3 tips that you need to close more deals. So drop in the comments right now, closer, if you guys want these tips. I'm super excited to kind of share these with you. And if wherever you guys are watching this, whether that's in the Facebook group or whether this is on YouTube or wherever you guys are watching it, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on super great content coming more. And if you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, go to my YouTube. Just look up Johnny Nitafan or Final Expense Training and subscribe to my channel. All right, so let's get into this. 3 things that you need. So the first way that you can close more deals today is having full conviction in the product. What do I mean by this? Okay, let's break this down a little bit. So the reason why, right? So I'm Christian, if you guys don't know. And so what would happen is we'd go out and we'd go like sharing our faith. I remember they'd have the G Challenge, the G Club, right? And so what would happen, what we did was the G Club was for people in their first week in college, right? So the first week of college is like called Rush Week. And so what would happen is during that week, there's a G Club. And what that means is G means 1,000. And so if you reached out to 1,000 people to come to our events, to share our faith, your faith with God, you'd get into the G Club, right? And so I was like, immediately I knew I was gonna make it happen. I was like, all right, what did somebody else do? Let me do it as well. Cause like I'm ambitious, but then that paired with I'm on fire for God. I'm like, I want to like help everybody. I want everybody to know who God is. I really had full conviction in that moment, and boom, all of a sudden it happened. It started like it happened, and I ended up reaching out to 1,100 people, cold contact, literally like talking to everybody. I'm on campus like 8 to 10 hours every like the whole week. I got done Friday around 3 p.m. Got done with 1,100 people that I talked to and sharing about God, asking them to come to my church, asking them to read the Bible with me, things like that, right? And so it like the reason why I was able to do that is because I had full conviction in the product I was selling, and that like was because I was changed, right? And the reason that I had so much conviction is because I saw myself like who I used to be, right? So I had full conviction. And so what's that mean for you in life insurance? Like this protection, especially selling final expense. Hey, this protection, you don't have anything in place, Miss Mary, right? So if God forbid something were to happen to you, right? And you don't want to ask like this, but like you speak with conviction. Hey, Miss Mary, like if something, can I be honest with you? If something were to happen, like you've waited, you're 80 years young. You're not getting any younger. So if something were to happen to you today, or if something were to happen yesterday, your family would not have any coverage in place. Can I ask you a question? Is that how you want to be remembered? How long do you need to think about this? What's there to think about? You've waited 80 years. You've thought about it 80 years, but you've never taken action. If you're not completely opposed, let's submit an application and make sure you can get approved. Hey, if you're not totally opposed, let's start with a smaller plan, something comfortable and affordable inside your budget, and we can always increase later. Sound fair enough? Or would you be completely opposed to that? Right. So asking questions, being able to really draw the prospect out. And that's kind of what like goes into one of my last points. And so stick to the end so you get that. But have to have full conviction on what you're selling. What would happen, right? What would happen if something doesn't, you don't put this protection in place? And conviction in the product and what you're doing and the families that you've been able to help and filing death claims. I've never had to file death claims myself, but I've seen it happen. Friends that I've had, their parents dying and the death claims actually paying out, right? So these are things, this is the first thing. You have to be all in, sold out on the product that you're selling, because if you do, your tonality will change, the questions that you ask will change. You'll come out of a place of care instead of a place of need, commission breath. So this is the first tip. So if you're not fully convicted on the product, you have to go back and you have the testimonials, have the people that you've been able to help, have the death claims that you've had to file, right? Because if they don't have the coverage in place, you can't deliver those death claims. So the get the death certificates and really process their claims and be able to get them the money that they deserve, right? So that's the first one. The second one, if you guys haven't already, drop in the comments if this is fire. Drop in the comments closer if you're wanting to hear this second one. Let's go. All right, cool. So number 2, and by the way, if you do this, if you implement this right now, it like the top closers, the top people who are going to be closing deals are going to be rewatching this over and over and over again. That's what top 1% people do, right? So number 2, create common ground. You have to create common ground with the prospect, with the person that you're on the phone with, right? So when you're on the phone, all you have is your tonality. All you have is your voice. So you have to create common ground. And so I want to give you guys a few phrases that I use that helps me create common ground with them, right? So if they say they're from California, hey, yesterday I'm on the phone with a client, hey, getting the deal. And I'm talking with him, and I was like, hey, what bank did you what bank do you use? Okay, did you open that one in Texas? And he's like, no. I was like, okay, where'd you open it? He's like, California. I was like, oh, okay. Like, what brought you out there, right? And I'm building a little bit of conversation organically based on what they're saying. I'm building common ground. Hey, I'm from California as well. What part were you from? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, perfect. Hey, let me ask you a question, and then go back into it, right? So I want to build a little common ground. Know that I am a human as well. Hey, this is the phone number, the same one my wife and mom call me on, okay? So go ahead and write that down, right? Make sure you save that. If you have any questions, you let me know, okay? And so that's like how I'm building common ground. So a few phrases that I use is, hey, I'm with you, right? When they say something, hey, I'm with you. I'm on your side. I'm getting on their side of the table. Hey, I totally understand. I get that. I'm the same way. Like, I'm with you. Hey, I feel that same way, right? If they say something, hey, I get that. I'm with you on that, right? So that's a good way to show that the prospect that you're on common ground, right? Because if you have commonalities, if you have the common ground, you can end up building the trust, them liking them liking you more, and you being able to close the deal, right? It allows you to become human. It allows you to not just be the sales guy, somebody selling a product, but really like actually trying to help them through the plan, right? So drop in the comments a fire emoji if you guys are liking this so far. And the last but not least is you have to ask questions that draw in your prospect. So what do I mean by this? You have to get deeper than the surface, right? So a lot of people that I've been training at here at Nitafan Financial, we've been training a lot of guys, people coming in, closing deals first day, closing 2 deals, closing like 3K 2 days ago, absolutely murdering it right now. And so the good people that I've been able to train and help and that are crushing it in our agency is people who ask questions to get the prospect deeper. I wasn't able to close a lot of sales when I first started because I didn't understand this concept. And so if you want to go deep, if you want to close more deals, if you want to help more families, if you want to make more money, you got to master this. You got to master how do you draw prospects out, right? So what's interesting is that a key to this is you have to be curious. You don't want to be the investigator, right? But you have to be very, 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 very curious, right? You ask tons and tons and tons of questions, but more like, hey, curious, right? Trying to figure this out, right? Hey, were you looking to go, I guess, more down the traditional burial route or more kind of like the cremation route? Hey, let me ask you this. Would you like to leave a little something behind for the family or just kind of cover the final expenses? Okay. You don't have any coverage? Oh, wow. Like, geez, how long have you been without coverage? Right? I guess like walk me through this. I guess what got you starting to look for life insurance today? Like what made it today? Oh, you said your sister died? I'm sorry. I guess how's that been? Like how's kind of that process been? Did she have any coverage in place? No? And you've kind of seen how hard that is, right? I'm sorry to hear that. I guess kind of like off the record, like, are you doing okay? Is there anything I can help you with? Jeez. Sorry to hear that. And so you don't want to leave. It sounds like you kind of don't want to leave that burden on your family, right? And I'm sure that you'd agree, like having a little something in place would like be better than having nothing, right? Okay. Right. So drawing them in, if they say something, you want to, okay, they say something and you want to go deeper. Hey, your husband died? Oh my gosh. How long are you guys married? Right? Boom. Asking questions. You ask questions when they say something related to that. You want to ask questions, dig a little deeper, bring it back to why they're buying today, right? Why they should do this, right? You want to back it up. It's an emotional sale. You want to back it up with logic. Hey, literally, if something were to happen to you, you don't want your kids to have to deal with what you had to when your husband passed, right? Yeah. Okay. And so I'm sure that you'd agree having a little something in place would be better than having nothing, right? Yes. Okay, great. and boom, you ask those questions. So these are some tips that I've used, and I want to kind of share one more thing. I actually made a full video on this on my YouTube coming out here in a little bit. So if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Johnny Nitafan, if you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button and drop in the comments a fire emoji and watch this over again so that you can close more deals. And so it's no base questions. So when you're going for the pre-close, and this is a bonus because you guys are 1%ers, I want to be able to share this, like the secrets with you guys, everything for free, so you guys can one day partner with my agency. And so this is no base questions. And so I actually made a full video on this again, but pretty much it goes into the asking, hey, say, is there anything that you could think of that that's like kind of would hold you back to see if we can even get you approved? No? Okay, great. And they say no, which means yes. I ask them no question. Hey, would you be completely opposed to moving forward with a $5,000 plan today? Hey, is this something, would it be like a crazy idea to just submit the application for the 5,000 and get the coverage in place for your family? Hey, would it be like a wild idea? Would it be crazy? Would it be unreasonable to see if you could even get qualified? Hey, would it be totally unreasonable? Is that fair? And they say yes to that, but like you want to ask no base questions. You want to ask these questions. Hey, it sounds like the $10,000 is like a little expensive, but it sounds like you definitely want coverage. Is that right? Yes. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, are you totally opposed to just starting with the 7,000 and then you can always add later? I mean, are you totally opposed to like getting the peace of mind that you deserve today? Right? So asking these questions, so when they say no, they actually mean yes. So these are a few things that have helped me close over $500,000 in life insurance premium all over the phone. I want to be able to help you guys. I want to help you guys become the best final expense agents possible so you guys can partner with me and we can build something massive together, right? And so for me, my goal, and mark this down, my goal is to become the most known final expense telesales agent in the world. So guys, I'm giving you guys content. I got tons and tons and tons of content of pretty much people crushing it in the final expense space that are going to be breaking down the nuts and bolts on how they're able to be successful. So you can scale to $20,000 a month with me and my team. We could do it together. I appreciate you guys. Have a great Friday. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.